Okay, hello and welcome again. In the last episode, we got our hands on the big chunky MLG sword, which is cool. We're gonna actually get another DLC weapon that I forgot about that will also be used by this character. This one is, I mean, I'll get it really early, so it's not a huge deal, but basically it is it's a straight up brass knuckle. It's a chunk of iron with finger holes used for punching. It is helpful. Actually, it's pretty much helpful for any build that fights at close range. It's a fast attack with low damage, and it deals. And it consumes a large amount of stamina, but it. Okay, well. Oh, nice miss, fuckface. So yeah, it consumes a lot of stamina, but it deals... Oh my god! You know what? Talk shit, get hit. Anyway, it deals a lot of poise damage. A lot. So it's useful for, in close range, it scales off of strength, but it can be useful in close range for a strength build or a skill build. It's useful for strength builds because it's fast and it has high poise damage. It's useful for skill builds because it has high poise damage. A skill build is already going to have access to fast melee attacks. That's not going to really help. But against enemies who have high poise and a strong tendency to armor through your attacks, if you're low on bullets or not feeling confident about your parry timing, you can often use the Fist of Gratia to just fucking poise break them and attack them safely that way. You know what? That was like 2,700 souls, so I'm just gonna let them keep them. I don't fucking care. So yeah, the Fist of Gratia is a weapon that can be useful for a lot of things. It cannot parry. It is a left-hand weapon, but it cannot parry, which is a little weird. It'd be amazing if it could. That would be hilarious and cool if I could parry with the Fist of Gratia. But I suppose it would also arguably be kind of broken. So it does its job, and its job is to poise break. You punch dudes in the gut. I think it's legitimately a useful little thing to get. We're gonna... What are we gonna do now? We'll probably just... Yeah, I'll just buy the shards. No, I will not just buy the shards. I'm 1/3 of the way to a Blood Rock. I'm not buying the fucking shards. So anyway, we're going to farm for a bit in this episode, and I guess just discuss some things. So, I've had some trouble with recording episodes during this playthrough. This is my first ever time trying to upload an episodic playthrough of anything. Everything else I just, I save it on a whim because something funny or crazy happened, and then I upload it to my YouTube channel. But this time, I'm trying to do it, I'm trying to premeditate and plan and make things happen that way. Some people seem to be enjoying it, which is awesome. But it's got some problems, anyone who's gotten this far already knows there is no episode 3. Episode 3 is it's in the ether. It doesn't exist. So yeah, I've had a couple of hiccups, but this is my first time doing something like this, so I think it's going all right. People seem to like the episodes, whether I have a co-host or not, which is nice. That's a cool little thing, and that saves me the trouble of trying to make sure I always have one, in the interest of not being boring. Alright, we're at 8 now, so we'll have to run it like 2 more times at least. Oh, wrong part of it. There we go. So, yeah, now my history with Bloodborne is strong. I'm sure my performance in this playthrough, especially against Ludwig, has made me look not particularly great at this game. But a vast majority of my experience in this game, after I actually learned how to play fully, a vast majority of my experience was on a Blood-Tinged Arcane character. Now, I've probably mentioned before that there are a lot of people who think that doesn't work. I could explain why it actually does work I may have already deigned to do that in a previous episode. That's the other thing. I'm not good at remembering what I've already said. So to the folks at home, if I repeat myself and it's annoying, genuinely I'm sorry. I don't do it because I don't think anyone's listening or because I want to reiterate how cool and right I am about whatever I'm talking about. It really just is that I don't remember what I've already said. So that's a thing. But yeah, so the majority of my experience in this game came from a Blood Tinge Arcane character. I believe he's at 620 hours now. So most of my experience with this game did not involve the use of any normal physical weapons. It did not involve the use of things like beast blood pellets or fire papers or anything like that, because you can't use those things when you're using... If your main damage types are Blood Tinge and Arcane, you can't use those things. So when it comes to running, and I do have some pure physical builds by now. They're gemmed out, they're level 150, they're ready to go, and I play them often. But it's still as a whole a style of... I think they have like 30 and 70 hours respectively. It's a lot less experience, and I have like 100 more hours on a pure Arcane character. So as a whole, my experience with utilizing Arcane and Blood Tinge is a lot more diverse than my experience with using most of the like slower, more powerful weapons on a physical build. Like the Whirligig Saw I had no trouble with, because the Whirligig Saw is fucking easy. It does a bajillion damage. You can L2 to rip holes in the universe. Like that weapon, you don't... This is not to belittle anyone who likes the Whirligig Saw. I love it, but it is not very hard to use. So that was like an easy thing to kind of figure out. But when it came to things like, using a weapon like this one, where it's like this is mostly blunt damage, which is a damage type that's resisted by a lot of enemies. Well, actually, this is almost exclusively blunt damage. If the weapon's not trick, it's all blunt damage. Ow. All right, what are we looking at now? 19. Okay, so we're done. But yeah, so my time spent, using more traditional weapons, using pure physical builds, having access to things like beast blood pellets, that's something I'm actually not wildly experienced with. But like, so that's part of the reason why this character is using a weapon like the Boomhammer. In addition to the fact that I stylistically like it a lot, I wanted to take a step further in a direction I'm not super comfortable with. And this puts me in a position where I can do that. And the Boomhammer, like, the style of its gameplay is also something that's completely unique to me. The only weapon that's even vaguely similar to the way this one functions is the Stake Driver, and even that's not... that only applies, the only similarity applies to its R2s. This weapon, the moveset does not change at all when you transform it. You just get, Zippo gunhammer explosions, which is awesome. I like the weapon, but yeah, the entire style of its gameplay is, I'll either be transforming when I shouldn't or not transforming when I should. This weapon is a learning experience for me so far. So yeah, I think that has a lot to do with why I had to kind of upgrade it a little bit more before I could do something like beat Ludwig. But I'm not mad about it. I don't think it was too terrible. Anyway, so now we're gonna go try at least to kill Ram the Vacuous Spider. We've not done anything in Bergenworth yet, and there's an NPC there who is just dag nasty. Just not a very nice NPC. And I am genuinely unsure of how to survive when that NPC uses a certain specific move. But I'm going to try anyway. It could be... There's a couple of things in the game where the best chance you have of surviving is to just not do anything and get hit. Like, this is... I'm sure that sounds really stupid, but like, I'll give you an example. Ebriatus... I don't know how to pronounce it. I think someone said that it's been officially pronounced as Ebriatus on like a stream or in an interview or something. But that boss has a move where she'll charge at you. And that move is not easy to dodge. In fact, it's so difficult to dodge that under most sets of circumstances, you're better off just letting it hit you, because that way you don't... Because if it hits you, you don't take counter damage. If you try to dodge it and you fail, you'll be hit with counter damage as soon as as soon as your iframes run out. Which, you know, is a problem. Okay, this thing's pretty good. All right, it's don't you get started. Don't you get started. Don't you do it, ZD. All right, let me get her the hell out of here. Sorry about that. I was letting my dog hang out in here with me, but she decided she heard something outside. My dog she's very new. I've only had her for 3 weeks and like 2 days, and she is very afraid of other dogs. I don't know why specifically, but she's very afraid of other dogs. You know, she behaves very differently when other dogs are present. Sir, how are you not are you just not aggressive? Oh, there we go. Okay. There we go. That was weird, right? I'm surprised. You know what? Actually, it's a little weird. I'm surprised this weapon still transforms even if you don't hit anything with the transform attack. Like, there's nothing... Because I think the logistics of the transform attack on this weapon is that you're banging the, like, Zippo handle thing on their face to make it click backwards. So I'm not 100% sure what the fuck is going on with the transform attack if you don't actually hit anything. Oh, I ran out of stamina. That one was my fault, actually. That's a little trick I learned. If you get grabbed by a brain sucker, literally use the options button, open the menu, and quit the game manually. What this does is it prevents you from losing insight. Now, some people might argue that if you do that, that's kind of cheating. It's absolutely an exploit. But the reason I do that is because being grabbed by a brain sucker takes a really fucking long time. That's not my fault. It is not my fault that it takes forever. Oh, we're doing it again. So the downside to that strategy is when you load back into the game, you are right in... Well, the brain sucker will be moved back to its original location. So if you're still there when where you were grabbed, you'll be right in front of the motherfucker when you reload the game. I'm just trying to make sure I don't lose any insight. Insight is really valuable. And like I mentioned before, I'm like a third of the way to being able to buy a blood rock, so I'm not going to bother getting grabbed by a brain sucker. So brain suckers are vulnerable to thrust damage. They are affected by the righteous modifier, and they are extremely vulnerable to elemental damage, like fire or bolt, which is why earlier when I hit him with that fully charged R2 with the boom hammer, I almost killed him immediately. Which is cool. I like almost killing things immediately. We're going to run through here. I'm pretty sure I can do that. Yeah, his fireballs hit that little pillar thing if you're specifically where I just went to. The question becomes, do I want to go down there and get all that stuff? I guess I should, yeah. I'm a little worried that guy's going to give me the business, though. Okay, anyway. Moving right along. You know what? I'm glad I went over there to do that, because sedatives are really fucking helpful. I wonder if you can actually sneak up on this fucking thing. Oh god, it's barfing on the floor. Is it dead? No. There we go. Now it's dead. So yeah, that is basically the most dangerous thing you'll find over here. He's not a nice guy. having a lot of problems with this controller recently. I think I might, switch to another one. It's actually my newest controller, and yet still it misbehaves. And it's the blue camo one. I bought it because I was like, this looks awesome. Oh, that's another thing. Weapons that have like follow-up R2 attacks, really, really good, because a lot of them you can do both the R2s and still be able to do a visceral attack. This weapon's Form 1 is a perfect example. So yeah, that's a thing to look out for. There are weapons with with follow-up R2s that can't do that. I believe the Chikage in Form 2 cannot actually use follow-up attacks after. If you do the fully charged R2, you get the stun for the visceral, if you back attack with it. But if you do the follow-up, I believe it just knocks targets to the ground, so that is not wildly helpful. Anyway, we're going to try and get close to this guy before he starts using fucking whatchamacallit. Ow. There, well, that was not what I expected him to use, so honestly, Oh, no thank you. Oh, we interrupted it, thank God. So we're abusing super armor a little bit here, but whatever, we got it done. And this is Henrik again. You can summon Henrik in a couple of places if you actually go back and kill him. That is the guy we, in an earlier episode, we got... Oh, I wonder if that was what happened in the episode that didn't actually get recorded properly. Anyway, you can, if you help Eileen with her stuff, he is the one you end up killing, so and helping Eileen kill him, or just killing him on your own, gives you the ability to summon him in a couple of places. It's pretty cool. And he's pretty useful. The guy's got a lot of health. I think he has a saw cleaver, which is a nice, well-rounded enough weapon. Alright, come on, you big dumb bitch. Fuck out of here, bitch. So yeah, you may have noticed our Boomhammer is +8, and it has our best gems on it, while our Holy Moonlight Sword is only +6. But the Holy Moonlight Sword is performing just as well as the Boomhammer. That is a result of the fact that if you look at the way our stats are diversified here, the Boomhammer scales mostly, like a vast majority of the Boomhammer scaling is in its strength. You don't need skill at all for a Boomhammer, and Arcane is optional, fully optional. It helps, because I think it reaches like a C scaling by the time you hit +10, but it is optional. You do not need it. The Boomhammer can be used as a complete strength weapon, while the Holy Moonlight Sword has high scaling in Arcane, high scaling in skill, and high scaling in strength. So basically, because we're not invested mostly in strength, like we have better stat investment for the Holy Moonlight Sword than we do for the Boomhammer, which is why it's able to perform so well. In case anybody was curious. I don't think anybody was, but, Oh god, this boss fight's gonna be an obscene bitch, I just realized. Huh. I could try... There's a couple of strats that I'm aware of that I could try to do here. Well, I mean, you can't get started or you can't get done if you don't get started, so. Alright, also we're gonna kill this guy. That was, what is it, like Provost Master Willem or some shit like that? He's important for the lore or something, I don't know. Sorry, lore players, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about with that, I'll be mostly honest. So yeah, now we are, honestly, I'm gonna do it this way. I think this is a smarter way to initiate with this boss. Is to just, from downtown, bang. So, that's why. As soon as you hit them once, all the spider babies show up. And they're dicks. Okay, been a long time since I did this fight while I was the appropriate level, so... Okay. So yeah, the key with this boss, it takes longer, but if you just be patient and kill the spider babies first, it really makes your life easier. Yeah, that's why, because they can do shit like that. If the spider babies counter hit you while you're button mashing at ROM, it's gonna ruin your fucking day. Okay, we're spending extra stamina for nothing. Yeah, so the spider babies actually deal about as much damage as ROM, if not more in a lot of situations, so it's just not a good idea to ignore them. You could really F yourself if you ignore them. So, we got a strat we're going to try. What is the physical AR of this weapon? 144 plus 110. Alright, so the boom hammer will do more damage, but does it consume more stamina on swing? No, it's about the same. Okay, so we'll do it with the boom hammer. I did not mean to do that. That's what I meant to do. So, this is a strat that people use for dealing with ROM. Basically, until ROM's health goes below a certain point, ROM will not teleport. So, you build up meter by punching her in the face. And then you use it all at once to try and kill her fast. So I ran out of stamina. That was not... I did not do that in a smart way at all. That was like the worst... That was the dumbest way I could have possibly handled that maneuver. I'm going to be honest. Whoa, she teleported super far away as well. Okay, so let's put our MLG sword back on. Whoa, okay, space rocks. We're dead. Oh, no, we're not dead. We actually got hit by 2 spider babies at the same time and didn't die. That is something I was not expecting. Okay, oh, we got... Oh, she double ported, too. Fuck, okay, alright. We're really... Alright, we're in bad shape now. Okay, yeah, I really bungled that. That's just gonna be honest about it. Whoop, okay, we're not dead, but this is bad. I think I can still salvage this if I'm careful, but it's not good. Things are looking grim here. Okay, more space rocks. So one of the important things to do in phases 2 and 3, you got to keep your eyes on ROM, especially if you're playing solo, because ROM will call down rocks that hurt like a bitch. Like this. Whenever she lifts her head up like that, that's space rocks. So yeah, ideally you just want to... That is a move where she summons rocks from the ground. It's a big AoE, and it's not easy to avoid if you're close to her. So if you see her roll over on her back like that, yeah, get the fuck out of there. And we're playing it safe, you know. I apologize to the folks at home who were expecting a fast and efficient boss fight, but I just don't. I don't have what it takes. So yeah, ROM is not a terribly active boss no matter what phase you're in. We're in phase 3 right now, but phase 3 and phase 2 are actually identical. In phase 1, ROM does not attack at all. In phase 1, ROM will only... the only thing that will attack you is the spider babies. So, in phase 2, ROM gets access to all these attacks you see her using against me now, which are, you know, neat and all. In Phase 3, the only difference between Phases 2 and 3 is that in Phase 3, Rom now has a melee attack where she waggles her face and butt furiously in such a way that it deals some pretty righteous damage. It will knock you backwards, and if the first waggle hits you and you try to roll toward Rom, the third waggle, I think, will roll catch you, and you are very likely to die. So yeah, if Rom hits you with her melee attack, just roll. Okay, cool. So we're good now. So yeah, just play it safe. Don't try to wail on the boss willy-nilly super crazy. And be wary of the melee attack. It starts up fast enough that it's pretty fucking hard to react to, like so. Yeah, so that time, I wasn't sure. I'm not sure about the roll timing for that, so I just let it hit me. Oh, we got space rocks. Oh. You're so fussy. Okay, so we handled it. We did get it done first try, but that was not quick. That was not efficient. Like I said, I apologize to anyone who's expecting some expert gameplay. I usually fight this boss with arcane converted weaponry or powerful blood tinge weaponry. So, what are those spider babies out in the distance? I've never seen that before. What is that? What is that? What the fuck? What is this? Oh my god, did the fucking fly monsters fall down here? What the fuck? I've never seen that before in my life, ever. Wow, that's bizarre. Yeah, that's strange. I've never seen that before. Anyway, the way you progress after killing the boss is this lady over here will appear, and you run toward her. Well, I mean, you don't have to run toward her, but when you get close enough, shit happens. Shit that I'm gonna skip, because fucking, I don't know, lore and cutscenes are for nerds. So yeah, we're in good shape. This has not been the worst playthrough I've ever done. This is definitely worse than my last probably 4 playthroughs. But my last 4 playthroughs were several years ago, so I accept that. That's fair. So yeah, we're gonna run past all these fucking Yarnamites spawning out of the ground. Who gives a fuck? They're not gonna do anything. They ain't shitting. They ain't saying nothing. I think there's an item here. Yeah, give me that. That's mine. And there's a guy over here. Yep. Yeah, get dunked on, bitch boy. Alright, so we have made it to, Yahar Ghul. Yahar Ghul sucks. It's an invasion hotspot, but I've not called for help from a player in this entire playthrough, and I don't plan on changing that, because, I don't know, I just don't feel like I need it. And a lot of the times the reason I don't summon players is because I don't like waiting. It takes a really long time sometimes. And I'm a strange player. I'm impatient, but lazy. I don't want to wait for nothing. But, you know, I also don't want to do a lot of work, so... Which I guess stands in stark contrast to the fact that I spent all that time fucking trying to beat Ludwig, but whatever. I do as I say, not as I do. Is that the right bullshit parent thing to say here? Okay, so let's... So our skill stat is actually gonna... We're only gonna bring that up to like 25. Because it's just not... It's probably not going to do much for us. In the end, the only reason why we have 25 skill is to boost the damage of the Holy Moonlight Sword. The highest scaling stats on the Holy Moonlight Sword are Arcane and Strength, but its skill scaling is good enough that getting 25 in skill is absolutely helpful. It does absolutely make a difference. So let me think for a moment. We've got chunks that we can run and get, but we also need to get twin shards. We've got 6. We need 10 more. There's an area we can farm them from if we can push further into Yahar Ghul. So I guess we'll do that. Yahar Ghul sucks. We're gonna try and give that area the old 1-2. We're gonna try and kick its ass, but that place does suck. As a matter of fact, maybe we'll call it here, and in the beginning of the next episode, we'll start Yahar Ghul and try and get the stuff that we need from there. Because Yahar Ghul has an area where it becomes really easy to farm for what's the word I'm looking for? For twin bloodstone shards. That's the other area I mentioned before. So we'll do that next time. Till then, bye-bye.